Hey guys, welcome back to Umineko. I haven't started reading yet, my throat's already hurting. Okay, so I think we're getting pretty close to the end here, I think. Shannon and Cannon stood guard in the front of the door to the Golden Land. They glared quietly and fearlessly at the eerie fleet of the ship across the horizon. Shannon slowly lifted her hands. Cannon raised his right hand and a red blade appeared there. Stop right there. I told you to come. Forbid you come any closer. If you do, I'll kill you. They could see a single dinghy leaving the fleet and approaching them. They couldn't tell if it was a messenger or the first wave. Shannon and Kenan watched it cautiously. At the head of that dinghy, rowed by goats, stood Erica. Where the heck did she get that thing from? Maybe she's trying to act the part of the fleet's leader. Erica was glaring at them and smiling aggressively with what appeared to be a pirate hat on her head. I've come to deliver our terms. There will be room for negotiation. Please open the gate. Shannon and Kenan looked at each other. Erica was the one offering this deal. It was unlikely to be anything agreeable. However, if they turned her away, the attack would probably begin at once. Since they were in a firmly inferior position, they wanted to buy time by any means they could. As Shannon's nod, Kenan erased his sword. The Golden Land was filled with a hard downpour, accompanied by occasional thunder. Erica, who realized that this was weather, spoke for her emotion, smiled even more boldly. At the center of the Golden Land, the arbor surrounded by the Golden Rose Garden, a large number of humans and illusions were there arguing about something. Even without asking, it would be easy to guess the nature of the debate by their anguished expressions. After all, in this life or death situation, they didn't have many options they could take. In the direction Eric was being led, Beto stood waiting, accompanied by the Chester sisters' chorus. When Erica, accompanied by her goat guard, she saw Beto, she gave a bow that only appeared graceful. Beto followed suit and gave a graceful bow of the sort that was rarely seen from her. I am Beatrice, master of the Golden Land and the Golden Endless Witch. Announce yourself. As though implying that she was more than happy to go through this farce, Beto introduced herself and boldly requested that Erica do the same. We have been dispatched from the Great Witch of theater-going drama inspected a noble city of carefully selected books, and the Witch of Truth, the commander of Library Fleet, which is committed to bestowing honor and protection to books. My name is Fruto Erica. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Shall we get down to business? You ought to celebrate. We of the Library Fleet, dedicated to offering an honor and protection to books, have come to bring good news to you all. First, I would like to announce that after a careful selection of the City of Books has acknowledged and accepted the game board created by the Endless Witch of Beatrice as a great and honorable book. Oh, that is indeed great honor. The game board is a profoundly entertaining and original masterpiece worthy of close study. It deserves to be released for all of our subjects to read. And so the City of Books has ordered us to grant eternal honor and protection to this game board. This is all quite long and boring. Get to the point. We demand they hand the entirety of this game board over to the Honorable City of Books. Doing so will give this board and its pieces the greatest honor and protection imaginable. And if we refuse, you will be prosecuted for the crime of monopolizing a great culture artifact that ought to be shared among all of our subjects. We are here to notify you of the impending assault, which will be waged by us to protect the benefits that are the rightful property of all subjects, not yours alone. Are you not concerned that the shared property of all subjects might be destroyed in this assault of yours? According to the Great Library Protective Regulations, when a criminal guilty of a novelization of a cultural artifact raises the objection, as she had now done, the executive fleet may prioritize arrest over its protective duties, as long as they obtain permission from the Great Court. Of course, we have already obtained the Great Court's written authorization. I imagine the word arrest is closely followed by dead or alive, am I right? My, I'm impressed that you can read those tiny letters. Now, enough fooling around. Let's hear your answer. Alright guys, I'm gonna grab a bottle of water real quick. Alright, back. What do we get to gain by accepting your conditions? Both of us will be saved a troublesome task. Furthermore, your brave and noble acts will be recorded as a glorious final chapter in the City of Books. You do understand, right? You have no chance of winning. This isn't even a fight. It's just you sitting there at the bottom of a well while people throw stones at you. So you claim that I have the power to choose nothing except how the library witches will record my final moments. The rest depends on you. If you treasure this game board, you ought to surrender. The pieces will be treasured by our loyal subjects for all time, and will be able to continue their roles on into eternity. In other words, the treasures I created at will shall repeat forevermore. How is that any different from what you've been doing so far? It isn't. Is there anything else? If not, allow me to give you my answer. Go ahead. Erica turned slightly. After all, this was the great Lady Beatrice she was dealing with. She might have shouted, "Here's my answer," dramatically do something crazy. They say according to her, is most likely to bite a cat. Furthermore, Erica had telling her that the great Lady Delta Witch of the Senate had been spending her time inside the Golden Land, though only as a theater goer. Erica needed to carry out this noble task that her master had assigned her, and she had to carry it out perfectly. If she was honest, she wanted to make Beato raise a white flag, even by trickery if necessary. So even though this was a farce, she held back from giving any unneeded provocation, whatever. She gulped and tried to set Beato up. And then, with a pathetic expression in her face, Beato let out a sigh. I'll be honest, the truth is I am tired. What do you mean by that? My game had already achieved its purpose when my fight with Battler ended, and yet for various reasons, the game has repeated several times since then. To be perfectly honest, I'm tired of it. To be honest, that isn't the answer I was expecting at all, so you want to surrender? Really? Simply put, I don't care either way. It doesn't matter whether I surrender or whether we're vanquished by you. I'm simply wish to have curtain closed on this game board tale, and regardless of who does the deed. Of course, that was a lie. She knew she couldn't win even if she fought. For now, their best option was to play for a time. They would fix Erica's attention to the spot, and during that time, Battler and the others would steal the key from Birkenstell while she was completely off her guard. Once they had the key, they would return to the Golden Land and use that key to let Ange open the door to the future and see her off. That was their goal line. Everything about what happened after that would be inside the cat box. Anne would live on to the future with hope. No one would know whether Beato and the others were alive or dead. That was enough. The only strategy Beato and the others could use to achieve this was to buy time. If you do surrender, it may be a bit of an anticlimax, but it will save me a lot of trouble. But well, it is not quite so simple. You see, this is just between you and me. As you may know, the great Lady Linda Delta is staying here. She is pushing to show her dramatic climax. That's a pretty cool whim to force on someone. However, few wimpy people on what's basically an already solved puzzle, supposed to fight against our fleet with its hundreds of thousands of troops. Very true, very true. The gap in strength is overwhelming. We told her it wouldn't be even a fight, but, well, Lady Delta didn't listen and just, she would bring some of our friends to support us, so we should fight with everything we had. Lady Delta's friends? Unlike Birkenstell, who kept to herself, Delta had many friends. Her friends and patrons were either territory lords of the great influence who came from all over the place, or else monsters that had become legends in their own lifetimes. In all seriousness, her so-called fan club had enough size and influence that it could have suddenly declared herself a separate country in the Sea of Fragments without anyone being overly surprised. This is quite a problem for us with Lady Linda Delta already for action without any regard for us. She keeps calling up friends and acquaintances on the phone from all over the place, telling them to come over. Of course, this is all a lie. Linda Delta had turned to a small candy comet and was now shooting towards the City of Books with Battler and Ange in tow. To make sure that Lima Delta and Butler's absence were not noticed, everyone was crowded around the arbor pretending to argue furiously with each other. Butler, someone give us your decision. We need the 7 since the purgatory are prepared for death at any time. I firmly oppose taking a last stand that would lead to our deaths. What could possibly be gained by dying? How can you be such a coward? It's inconceivable that we should live on in shame as prisoners. There are times when the mere fact of being alive gives one opportunities. Yes, indeed, a short temper makes a bad leader. Butler, if you call yourself a man, now's the time to act like one. The great Linda Delta Sama is even willing to help out, right? I agree. These are the times when a man has to make a tough decision. In many cases, the timing of a decision is more valuable than the decision itself. If we surrender, they might be violent. You can't be serious. Aren't you supposed to be a male lion? Where are your fangs now? If death awaits us regardless, I'd rather die as a wolf than a pig. Are you stupid? Are you saying you want to die like a dog? It all depends on the strength of the support Lambda Delta San can provide. Lambda Delta San, are your friends really strong enough to win against them? It's a bet. We'll either surrender and die, or we'll lose and bet and die. Interesting. In that case, our chances for survival must be higher if we take that bet. An honorable surrender will surely cause the great court to show mercy. They're backed by the Senate, aren't they? Sure, they'll hem and haw, but we'll all see the guillotine in the end. Anyway, let's all calm down. Cool your heads. I'm opposed to letting our emotions control us. Why don't you calm down first? We have another possible strategy. Mutually assured destruction. We might not be able to win, but we can convince them that we plan on taking enough of them with us that might force our opponents to show restraint. So basically, if they're determined to attack, well, let them know we aren't going down without doing some damage first. All of Lennon the Delta's friends are incredible. She knows lots and lots of witches, beasts, demons, gods, all of which are really, really huge legends and histories. Even if those ships are outnumbered, the stars in the sky, Lennon the Delta's friends would wipe them out with a single blast. Will this really work? She hasn't seen through our act yet, has she? If it is working, you must speak more forcefully as well. Do not worry about politeness. Enough, you gutless swine. Do you lack the backbone to finish with a bang? Hold on. Don't forget that some of us are opposed to fighting. I think we should surrender. What? Goda, you loser-loving fool. No, ouch, master. It's just a knack. Well, it looks like the bay has gotten quite heated. So will we surrender? Or will we fight back? Which will it be? Nobody knows. Personally speaking, I would like to surrender if I roll it either way. I prefer that my game board be preserved the way I made it. I could not bear to have Lady Lambda Delta continue to use it however she pleases. We don't want that either. I came here to fight you, but I'm no match for Lady Lambda Delta's friends. Secretly, Erica was getting worried by these complicated developments, and she was relieved that she hadn't pushed too hard earlier on. She wanted to flatter Beato and end this with a bloodless takeover. Even the great Lady Lambda Delta probably wouldn't seriously think of picking a fight with the Senate. Her motive was probably something much more trivial, a simple desire to watch the game board's final fireworks from a front row seat. However, she really did have some fireworks of her own prepared. It was at least possible that this could turn into a ruckus that Erica would have no chance of quelling. Beato saw all this going on in Erica's mind. She continued to act with even more pathetic expression on her face. Even among witches, her acting ability was top-notch. Might you be willing to lend us some of your strength so that my game board's beauty will be preserved? It was great error to invite that busybody as a guest. I understand. I'd like to end this quietly too if I can. So how can we work together? For some time now, we have been arguing over whether we should surrender or resist. I intend to return to them and propose that we surrender and ask Lady Lambda Delta not to do anything that might destroy the game board. That would please me very much. So what should I do? I would like you to guarantee that we have the necessary time to debate the matter. After all, your ships are surrounding and pressuring us at the moment. Everyone is so tense at the thought that we might be attacked at any time that they're falling apart. So if you guarantee that we will have enough time to discuss this amongst ourselves, everyone will surely be able to keep their composure during that time. Furthermore, I will have enough time to convince Lady Lambda Delta. Very well. About how long do you need? Would you be gracious and avoid giving a specific time limit? If a time limit is imposed, everyone will just fall apart again as the limit nears, possibly leading to a more radical decision. You have a point there. The most important thing about a fuse is whether it's lit or not. The length of the fuse is a trivial matter. In that case, will you give us the time we need? Understood. I guarantee that you'll have time to discuss it. However, that time won't be unlimited. I'll wait here and listen on your discussion. Well, as far as that goes, it is true that your mere presence here has anyone on edge. I've already made my concessions. Is it your turn now? They were some distance away from the arbor, but it was just close enough to give a general idea of what was going on. And it's far enough that they might just be able to hide the fact that Battler and Delta were missing. Just far enough for them to convincingly act like this was a white-hot argument and good luck. If it were possible that they would rather have kept Erica at even greater distance, they had planned to set up a seat of honor for their guest at one of the far corners of the garden maze. Is there some sort of problem? Okay, don't make such a scary face. In that case, please wait here. This is a confidential conference, so you must come not closer than this line. We have to do a line and ground their foot. Help them see me in a good light. If it's clear that I have obtained a generous agreement from you, they will be a powerful weapon in my hands in the debate. Could I get a chair? Yes, of course. Chester troops bring Lady Erica a chair, an umbrella at once, and a hand towel too. I'll wipe it nice and clean for you. Milady, have there been any developments in our negotiations? If anything, I'm certain is to be winning this year's prize for Best Actress. That's our Beatrice, Sama. All we can do is argue fiercely, squabble amongst ourselves, and make it look like things will turn for the worse if the negotiations break down. Indeed, this is yet another fight to support Battler's group. Get yourselves ready, everyone. Let us argue and assault with all we have. Got it? Yes, master. The sight of Goda and his cheeks rather swollen from being punched made everyone snort. But they quickly covered their mouths and put fingers to their lips. Everyone then argued, nodded at each other, and the fake argument resumed. Erica was sitting in a chair that the Chester sisters had brought her, filling their goat in on the details of their discussions. The ghost would probably return until the rest of the fleet. The fleet would tell Birkenstow, and Birkenstow might think of something to do with the situation or give new orders. The conversation with the goat ended and it spun around. It would return to Dick Dingy and report on this to the fleet. It slipped off from a rose bush that passed through the garden maze heading towards the door that led outside. Is it really okay to let that goat reach the boats? If it goes back, Erica's report will reach in Birkenstow's ears. The judge's sister spoke through a secret channel that only they could use. 2 seconds, Dia. We will even be a sound, Nia. It's just about to leave Erica's sphere of awareness. Estimated 10 seconds before it reaches the goat boats with spears, so assassination can be carried out successfully. Lady Beatrice, your permission to assassinate, if you please. We can do it. Erica will sense nothing. You do not have permission. Did you think an envoy would leave their ship without setting a time limit? The fleet probably has orders to attack if it's in contact in a certain period of time. Let that goat go. 00 understood. The goat passed through the door. Then, after receiving a silent bow from Shannon and Cannon, it got on a dinghy and returned to the fleet. The fleet would probably follow Erica's orders as standby until an attack order was given. They gave the residents of the Golden Land a chance to assassinate Erica, but of course that wasn't going to be possible, practically speaking. She was Birkenstone's greatest underling and a witch who controlled truth. Tricking her was all they could hope for. Anything else would be overconfident. Why don't you all have a seat too? You need to have no worries about us, without any hint that she's just been talking about assassination. 00 stood upright with her hands clasped behind her back. Surrender or resist until the end. The false argument resumed. Just how far and how long will they be able to trick Erica? Yes, the final fight for the Golden Land had already begun. Battler, you could count on us to handle things here. It is time for you and Ange to take this final game back. Okay, maybe this isn't going to end as soon as I thought it was. Whoops. Maybe it is. I don't know. Should only be a handful more videos for episode 8 to be over. And there's still Tea Party and the hidden Tea Party to do still. Anyway, this is our one freakishly huge library. I've heard that each one of these books has a tale like ours inside it. After all, this is a world of gods. You can tell at a glimpse there's no place for scum like you to be in, right? After passing through the barrier, the three of them have finally made it inside the city of books. For some time, they were overcome by countless otherworldly sights before them, but they quickly remembered their original objective. Are you listening? First of all, don't get the wrong idea. You two came here to fight Byrne, but that doesn't mean walking up to her and attacking her directly, okay? We know. In the first place, you were only able to fight the Great Beatrice on an even footing because the game board protected you with the rules that made it that way. If you leave the game board, you're more likely something now leave a small stain on her palm when she swats you. Don't forget that, got it? Makes sense. This isn't the game board we're familiar with. We didn't come here to fight. We came here to take something back with us. Exactly. You're here to prevent the Book of the Single Truth from exposing to the public. That's your only goal, your only fight. You better not be confused about that. Battler and Ange nodded to show their understanding. The Book of the Single Truth itself is being displayed openly in the middle of the party, so stealing that'll be impossible. However, bringing the key is going to be a big part of the ceremony, which means the key must be stored in a different place, but there's no guarantee that it'll be undefended. After all that, it's all up to your luck. I hope it's good for your sakes. Hide. Lambda Delta pulled her head back from the corner of the bookshelf, and the others hurriedly followed suit. In the distance, they saw emerald green lights floating about and leaving trails. Those are Burton's cats familiar. She's got them patrolling all over the place today. Did she guess that we would come? No, don't forget how huge this place is. Those are stuffed cats out looking for idiot guests who've gotten lost so they can be taken to the Lost Children area. And that's not where we want to go at the moment. If it looks like this one's about to find us, should we take them out? I'd advise against it. Maybe if this was some other territory or game board. But this is Burton's home base. That single cat could make you as scared as being surrounded by a crowd of vicious beasts. Plus they're cats. They got good sisters that they'll call for their friends. If they spot you, you better be prepared for what happens next. I'm not going to save you. Just getting you here has been troublesome enough. If I surrender, I might get off the hook without being stripped naked and thrown into the worst sort of crappy fragment for a century. And how wonderful. I think I can sympathize with Burton's feelings a bit now. Then the Delta wasn't laughing. Most likely, even as punishment she spoke was pretty optimistic. Even though she keeps saying that she won't help anymore, she's already risking everything. Why? Isn't it obvious? Then the Delta brushed her hair back and grinned. It's because you're going to show me the perfect happy ending. Then the Delta hugged her heads at the same time, making their foreheads bump together. You better show me for certain. Yeah, we'll certainly show you a happy ending. We'll certainly take this cat box back. Let's go. This way, and swim quietly. The three of them swam out to the darkness of the deep ocean trench that was the city of books. In that massive, vast trench of books themselves, they vanished into the darkness almost immediately. The library defied the common sense of the human world. The city of books. The word city, no exaggeration. And it was filled with the green glowing eyes of Burgess's countless cat familiars. Trying to count them would be almost as crazy as counting all the fish in the ocean. They formed schools that swim all over the place, on the outlook for any fools who might miraculously manage to slip in and disturb their master's party. If Butler's group was found, the cats would report it instantly. They would probably form a pack, open their large mouths, and swallow them in a single gulp. There would be no fight. In this place, Butler's party would be swallowed like tiny fishes if they were discovered. The warships surrounding the Golden Land were well more than 100 strong. Each of them had dozens of cannons pointing at the door to the Golden Land. The ghosts had packed its decks of ships numbered in the tens of thousands. Each of them carried enough anti-magic toxin in their fangs to completely deny one of their game board pieces. This time they would chew apart and eat away everything. The crowd of ghosts unleashed their rotten breath and dangling drool. At that time, Erica, who wanted to avoid trouble and hoped Beato would be able to convince Lambda Delta to surrender peacefully, was sitting alone, calmly enjoying the tea Roanoke had poured for her. Of course, even Erica was still planning to give them unlimited time. In her mind, Shirley decided to allow them 3 yawns before stepping in. This actually isn't so bad. Getting to watch Beato try and convince everyone as they call her a coward and a loser. Indeed, it is impressive that her short-tempered mistress has managed to become such an adult. Poop, 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 poop. What's so funny? Oh, pardon me. Are you ready for another cup? Please feel free to enjoy a collection of great teas from across the globe at your leisure. Linda is leading Beato's side into an all-out resistance and gathering her friends. Is this a joke? The messenger shook his head and then continued to dispassionately meow with support. Even Linda isn't that stupid. She should know what it means to have Owl as her enemy. Even as she said this, Burgess was chewing away at her thumbnail. Despite how she looks, that kid has a lot of strange friends. They're all idly curious, crazy monsters. Even so, to take up arms against the Senate. It was possible. She could think up many monsters among Linda Delta's friends who would love to see a losing side gain support and make a comeback victory, before she realized that they figured out Burgess's body was covered with sweat. She could do it. She really is a moron sometimes after all. Get me a phone, quickly. The cat left away, then flew back with a phone and receiver. I'm going to call up her friends. I have to warn them not to get involved in this stupid game. Phone numbers. Why don't I have any phone numbers saved in here? Alright, I have no friends. How are you supposed to greet people over the phone? Does hello work? Meow. The golden key was being kept in a room inside the City of Books. However, perhaps the room wasn't a fitting word to use. It was large enough that you could probably fit 2 domed baseball stadiums in it if you tried. Even so, in this city, these were called rooms. Floating in the center of this vast room were several sacred magic circles. Wrapped around by these magic circles was Angel's gold key. Surrounding these were countless emerald green stars which looked like slowly revolving planetariums. The eyes that numbered the same as the stars were all glaring in the same direction. Come on, don't look at me like that. I'm on your side. Did you forget? When the cat paddled towards Eva, meowing that no one was allowed into this room. Lady Birkenstock ordered me to guard that key, so why don't you leave this to me and get lost? As they looked at each other's suspicious eyes, the cats glared at Eva again, as though saying that they hadn't heard such an order. By the way, cats have pretty soft bodies, don't they? Makes it much easier to chew. Eva looked up her golden staff, and floor and the ceiling of the vast room were covered with red lines. The reaction from cats was lightning fast. They had realized instantly that this was a hostile behavior. The entire emerald green constellation went rift and became a single massive deep-sea fish, which charged at Eva with this cavernous mouth open wide. However, at the same time, the red lines on the floor and ceiling, the massive spiderweb pinched itself together and crushed the fish, twisted it and spun it around and compressed it into the size of a small ball. Then that ball-shaped thing burst open, leaving nothing left. It all happened in an instant. If only just give up and die. The witch hunters were holding the convention in the event hall. After all, when Ushimi Eva's story was opened, the endless cat box would be lost, along with the countless imagined stories that entertained them for so long. So this final convention was a time for them to air their best stories one last time. While the opening of the cat box did give them a slightly lonely feeling, they couldn't contain their excitement as intellectual rapists. Not when they knew that the Rokujima mystery was finally going to be solved once and for all. If that cat box were open, a single girl would be hurt. However, Their jaws and fangs couldn't care less. The witch hunting goat nobles kept licking their lips, wanting to chew apart the guts of Beatrice's cat box as soon as they could. Seated upon the solemn throne, so tall it looked like a pillar, Feathering listening on the nonsense being spewed from the mouth of the goat nobles, a black cat wearing a cape suddenly appeared and whispered something to Feathering's ear. No, that is fine. Everything is going according to my plot. You need not to inform me, my Miko. The cat bowed humbly and vanished. Feathering raised her wine glass high and laughed as she looked through it to the light of the chandelier, which was as beautiful and majestic as the moon. That should be enough to thank you for your excellent reading, Charlemagne. Well now, just who is weaving this tale? Am I for you, or are you for me? What do you think? A trap? As Butler's group moved forward darting from bookshelf to bookshelf and avoiding the eyes of the cats, they found something strange. Written with a faintly glowing red substance was a letter and an arrow. K. That's what it looked like to them. Do you think K means key? Those remarks only appeared when we got close. This is a message aimed at us. Is anyone here besides us who'd be willing to help? I didn't think we had any allies. Ames traced the red arrow with her finger. It was written with a very faint, thin strings that had been tied together. This red stuff which stuck to your finger and tore away like cotton candy had to be. There is someone on our side, someone who's always been on my side. How can you be so sure? Yeah, I get it too now, Linda. We can trust the person who wrote this. She'll probably be able to cut us to the key safely. Are you sure? Then let's go. We don't have time to be standing around. Thank you, Mom. In the arbor, the argument over whether they should be surrendered or fight continued without signs of stopping. Every now and then a small fight would break out, which fortunately ended up delaying Erica's third yawn. However, they didn't know how long they would have to continue this fake fight. Keeping this high level tension going was physically stressful. The instant they tired out and such a fed that Erica would probably demand a verdict. They had to constantly appear to be trapped and agitated. It was a battle of wariness and tension. This was their fight. Erica waited patiently now that she had tired of tea. She was watching Ronald perform some magic tricks and seemed to be enjoying herself considerably. Even Ronald, who usually aloof from the world, was fighting. If Erica got bored and had a tantrum, an all-out attack would probably begin at once. He was also putting his life on the line into the fight to buy time for Butler's group. As a fierce leader in argument, Beato wore out the quickest. She breathed heavily and her face was so pale it seemed she was might faint at any moment. Oh, Beato, not Butler. Beato, hang in there. Your body won't hold out much longer at this rate. Pretend suddenly the person with the tears and rest for a while. We'll pick up the slack. I am still fine. I can do this. Just one more push. Let's go. So who's up next? Who wants to be beaten down first? In that case, I could have been prepared. We must fight. It would be outrageous to accept defeat without fighting. As I said from the beginning, fighting with all we have is the only option. Hold on a second. Erica suddenly rose from her chair. Rona tried to coax her back into her seat, but Erica's attention is completely focused on those arguing in the arbor. I am the detective. My memory of what I hear is as good as recording. We are aware of that, of course. You are quite an excellent detective after all. I'm not interested in you. Goda, son, I have one question for you. Yes, ma'am. Now does it to cause you offense? Hold on. Don't forget some of us are opposed to fighting. I think we should surrender. Those were the first words I heard from you when I arrived here. However, you just said this, we must fight. It would be outrageous to accept defeat without fighting. As I said from the beginning, fighting with all we have is the only option. That's what you said. Well, did I say that? It is hardly strange for opinion to change in the course of the discussion. Indeed, all of us have been feeling doubts about our position lately, so the occasional change of opinion would it be? No. From this beginning to end, no one has changed their opinion in this argument, just how Koda-san alone flipped his position 180 degrees. Furthermore, I can't imagine that any of the statements made by the recipe were sufficient to make Koda-san switch his position. An uncomfortable and moist wind flew by, but everyone was silent, frozen as though time had stopped. In that silence, Erica continued with a blank expression. This could lead us to two conclusions. First, it may be that Koda-san has no opinion, and is just a loser who will be saying anything that goes with the flow. Second, it might be that he has an opinion, and that this entire argument exists only for its own sake. Are you overthinking this a bit? Here we are in a desperate debate. We'll decide our fate. I hardly think it's strange that some people would act abnormally under such pressure. The only reason for prolonging a meaningless argument is to buy time. Do you have anything to gain by buying time? Is it because Lady Lemon-Delta's reinforcements will come? That can't be true either. After all, for some time now, I have heard all of you speak to Lady Lemon-Delta and Butler occasionally, but not once have I heard them reply. Taking all this into account, we are left with only one conclusion. That Lady Lemon-Delta and Butler are not here now, and that these people have won Lady Lemon-Delta's assistance, with Lady Lemon-Delta and Butler probably planning to sneak into the City of Books. In which case, their goal is probably to steal back the Golden Key and Ange, and their plan was to act as bait to buy time until their mission was complete. But because of Koda-san's single poorly chosen line, this level of reasoning is possible for Furuto Erica. What do you think, everyone? Without blanket Ruth's expression, Erica spoke those words and returned to her seat. Everyone else was frozen and unable to move. No one spoke. However, time was moving, as evidence a bead of sweat dripped down as someone's cheek fell and hit the table with a tiny yet audible splat. And then frozen type shattered, and yet in the same instant, the white chair Erica had been sitting on broken apart. The stakes of the seventh sister purgatory and the high velocity rounds from the Church of Sister corpse hit the chair at exactly the same time. A few moments after that, Erica sitting in that chair faded and vanished. After image, she's fast, kill her. In an instant, Erica moved to a spot behind the chair. Her expression remained as blank as it had been before. However, now there was something in her hand that had to have been there. As 7 lightning strikes of the sisters, 7 sisters raced her. Blah blah. Okay, what? As the 7 lightning strikes of the 7 sisters raced her once more, she batted all of them away with her scythe. Oh, well, my water's gone. Okay, that's one hell of a farce, but the tea was good. Thanks for the meal. Well, now, it seems that you've been on agreement since the start. Allow me to ask you for your answer once again. Erica lifted her hand, and that one was holding the scythe. Very well, allow me to answer. This golden land belongs to me, all of us. If you enter with your shoes on, we'll give you a proper welcome. In other words, to put it elegantly, all cannons prepare to fire. Target the golden land. Wash your face at miso soup. Shoot 'em dead. Yes, thank you. See you around. Meow. Burgesel sat down the receiver and crossed out yet another name on the list of those little friends. Something was wrong. Not a single person she called had heard anything from the Delta. They weren't just playing dumb. They really knew nothing about strange ruckus the Delta was trying to stir up. Even Burgesel was starting to suspect us it was fishy. Then a black cat left in and yelled a frantic report. Lambda and Butler aren't in the Golden Land? She tore the phone receiver from its stand. The number she dialed was short. It was probably an internal line. However, after listening to her ring several times, she set the receiver down again, finally managing to break the phone. Gather all the cats who aren't busy. This is an emergency. The cats I had guarding the key aren't responding. Lambda... Burke felt overwhelmed with emotion. She kicked the table over. Then the room finally grew bright. It was a green sunlight. A bright green light waved about, giving the illusion that a green sun was rising and lighting the room up. It was a sign that Burkesel's army had been given emergency summons. Come, my kiddies, it's time for a witch hunt. The kid always smells like candy, so you'll find her pretty fast. The first cat who finds her gets a human form and a witch's title. What was now an emerald green nebula let out a roar of delight that shook the bookshelf cliff. Something's chasing us. What is that? A green sun? Hide, they know. The three of them frantically hid behind the bookshelf. The room with a key in it was straight ahead. They could see something glittering faintly in the darkness of that room. It was a glint different from anything else they had seen so far in the city. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself a quick save here. Oops. The color of the glitter was gold. They had almost reached the golden key. However, if they went towards it, Burkestel would be right behind them along with their vast swarm of familiars. In other words, they were trapped in a dead end. They already knew that the emerald green color came from the eyes of the familiars. However, it was almost beyond comprehension that this undulating green sun could be the same thing, and they could do nothing except stare in wide-eyed shock. The countless cats were passing through the ravine of bookshelves from the top to bottom. As they approached that, painstakingly checked the gaps between each book. However, this was a mind-numbing huge task was accomplished swiftly thanks to the sheer number of familiars. With the speed of gust wind, they carefully they checked every nook and cranny. There was no way to hide from the green sun. They would have been foolish as trying to hide from water on a shaking ship. Will we be able to hide until they pass us? No, at this rate we'll be found no matter where we go. Butler was just about to leap up from the shadows, but then the Delta grabbed him by the collar an instant before. Are you thinking of fighting? No, but while we found him, we just stand here. So we have to move forward. We need to reach the key as soon as possible. You really think there will be cats guarding the key? We'll be pinched between them. I believe in Aunt Eva. She's the one who guided us this far. I'm sure she took care of the guard cats too. I agree. If we're going to be found anyway, let's try to get there as fast as possible and grab the key. If we could just do that, and then we'll be able to open the book. So you rush in there and grab the key, and then what? That place is dead end, alright? You realize there'll be nowhere else to run, alright? Well, know that, but the key will be our trump card. It's vitally important to Burkestel too. If worse comes to worse, she might be able to use the key as a bargaining chip. Bargaining with Burn? You're insane. But if we hide here, we'll definitely be found. In that case, I'll bet on a billion to one chance we'll get the key and have that be our trump card. So you're praying for a miracle to win against the witch of miracles? Picking a winner out of astronomically bad odds. That's the Ushemian family's magic. I've got good eyesight, so let me enlighten you. Can you see those magic circles around the golden key? That's a simple barrier, but a pretty strong one. It'll break if you just touch it, but it's a sort of annoying seal that'll take exactly 1 hour to fade. Whether a great witch or a lowly human does it. It's still over an hour before the ceremony begins. In other words, we won't be able to touch the key unless we buy time for a whole hour. When Aunt Eva took out the guard cat, she must have broke the magic circle too. It probably won't take an hour. As far as I can see, the magic circle is still intact. Sorry to say it, but even if Eva did touch it, it was less than an hour ago. Well, what? It's an hour. At least we know we could grab it if we better just stick around that long. Yeah, sure, let's tag along for an hour. I'm used to getting chased around by thugs. You two really are out of your minds. You really are playing a tag against Burn and all our cats. There's even a 1% chance. You can be certain that we'll grab it. The difference in enthusiasm between the siblings who had everything to lose and Lambda Delta was immense. However, Lambda Delta was no coward. She was a great witch of the Senate. If she surrendered, she wouldn't be able to escape severe punishment. But she would be forgiven after a few hundred years. Why would she, after being thrown into the stormy sea while clutching her buoy, that could save only her decide to throw that buoy away? No living person could be determined as those siblings who are already fighting for their lives. No one could blame Lambda. You two really are stupid, you know that? Ah, well, why don't I tell you about a plan that's got a bit more than 1% chance of working? How does that sound? The two siblings looked at each other. However, they both thought that any plan would be worth listening to, even if it would only raise their chances by 0.001%. A sacrifice. Burn as a cat. She'll chase fleeing prey, but she'll also kill prey that doesn't flee. And only after 20th the first. Cats are terrible people. Still, if that's true, it'll be worth getting on. Let's have one sacrifice. We'll decide with rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses has to go top and burn, then get laughed at and killed all the bias as much time as possible. Does that work for you? No need for rock, paper, scissors. I'll do it. You two go in the key room. No, wait, Oni-chan. I'll do it. This is all my responsibility. I was the one who listened to Brooke Stone and trusted her. So I've got a thing or two to say to her. Both Battle and Ange decided to be sacrifices and wouldn't listen to each other. See? You need rock, paper, scissors to decide, right? If you don't act quickly, we don't even have a chance to use this plan. They'll be here any moment. Okay, either Ange or I will be the sacrifice. Then they'll tell you you'll take whoever's left, steal the key, and take them back to the Golden Land. I won't let you do it, Oni-chan. Quit joking around. You gotta let me act like a big brother at least once in a while. There's no time. Rock, paper, scissors single around. I'm super paper, so of course we'll start with that. Got you two? Fine, no regrets, okay? 3, 2, 1, paper. It really was a stupid kid's game of rock, paper, scissors. Since they promised to start with paper, that's a chance to make a surprise attack. I used anything else. We were both battling and chose rock. And yet it wasn't in time. Because in addition to those two rocks was one person who chose scissors. After staring stupidly at their fists and those two scissors, they looked at her. Ah, oh, dang. We were supposed to start with paper, so I figured I'd use scissors to beat you both. I guess paper should start with paper. There had been no reason for Lamberdelta to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Battler and Ange, each trying to lose, chose rock. Lamberdelta alone chose scissors. Don't tell me you intentionally. If we die, we can't even get back into the Golden Land. It doesn't count. Well, then you could just use this. One under them made a clenched fist. A palely glowing fragment appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. Battler had seen one of these before. It was a magic fragment like the one Eric had used before disappearing, which allowed one to cross the sea fragments. With that, you'll be able to return to the Golden Land, and anyway, I'm the best person for the job. You two probably won't be last a handful of seconds to get this burn. Which means not only will an hour be no problem, but who knows? I might even win, and I owe her one. I've got to make this my victory and even the score. It's still away games is just Japan. Lamberdelta pretended to complain as she stood up straight. Anyway, see you in a bit. I guess to show off like an couldn't stick to being a spectator after all. Sorry for stealing their time to shine. It's sad that I won't be able to watch your game until the end. Sorry, I've been showing the script. I've already been showing the script, so I'm not missing anything. Lambda. And then with their broadest smile and wink. This is your happy ending. I've already figured out what happens next, so there's no need to watch. I'll see the two of you again. In the credit roll of your happy ending, that is. But wait. None of them snapped their fingers, so two of them turned into competed candies. She picked them up, took aim at the glint of golden key, and flipped them away. That way they should be able to reach the key without Burgess noticing. Dang, what terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing a rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know, it wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you too. And then Lamberdelta's body was lit up by an emerald green light. When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Lamberdelta's met. Lamberdelta grinned and waved. There was a fierce roar and several bright flashes. What in the... A chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Burgess-style her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather multicolored candy that burst with a flash and scattered everywhere. Countless candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction, and each of those split and exploded into 100 of candies, each of which exploded again into a cloud of compito. However, these sweets weren't sweet. The compito was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted an entire pack of cats into little bits. The emerald green glance was scattered everywhere and sparkled like the night sky, and among them it danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they'd go well on a Christmas tree. It was sufficiently outrageous and beautiful and cute to mark the great witch Lamberdelta's appearance on the scene. Oh, if it isn't Lambda, I was hoping to meet you in the party hall. I love you, Bern. Isn't whispering of our love all the better for alone? I'll be happy to hear it after I plucked off all your limbs. With that jerk of her chin, Byrne ordered her familiars to attack. This is my dearly beloved and my only friend in the world. Her arms from elbow down, her legs from knees down. You can chew those up however you please. Why not I scratch anywhere else on her? A crowd of cats undulated again, reformed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. It was shaped like an impossibly fast whale. However, would it look like a whale from Leonard's perspective? He probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth that was about to swallow up everything. Simply wonderful. I'm about to be overwhelmed by Byrne's love, aren't I? I do love you, Lambda. Once your limbs are gone, I'll screw you through your butt and hang you on my bed. Or by my bed. Every morning I'll give you a good morning kiss, and every good evening I'll give you a good night kiss. Sounds great. Then I better wrap you up in my love too. However, Lambda's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, withering leviathan in a single bite. Yes, you are wonderful, Lambda. I love that empty-headed way. You just do things without looking ahead or worrying about your own life. When? At the same instant that Lambda Delta was swallowed and Birkenstow was sure of her victory, the latter felt. Birkenstow was sure of her victory. The latter felt a slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Lambda Delta had sent flying like fireworks, and was drifted about like the decorations at a Christmas party were flowing. No, they were converging on a single point. It was like watching the fireworks turn backwards, countless sweets rapidly contradicted around the vast closed mouth of the Leviathan. A gigantic reverse explosion concentrated on a point inside it. Or perhaps it's more like a countless candy showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that massive green was a black swirl. The swirl was on a palm. The palm of Lambda Delta, who wore a defiant smile. It was a massive supergravity. All the sweets that cast away on everything else was being sucked into that one point and crunched. I'll hold you tight. Get over here, Byrne. You're trying to suck me in? All the candy Lambda Delta had scattered were getting sucked in back into the black hole on her palm at unbelievable speeds. The reverse explosion of the oncoming candy whittled away at the Leviathan, crushing it inwards. Lambda, come on, let me give you a hug. With all their strength, Birkenstow held her ground in midair, trying to resist the supergravity. For the first time, all traces of condensation had left her face. Even Linda's cocky expression was marred by the sweat trailing from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have to be instantaneous. If either were relaxed in the slightest, they would match each other's strength and get dragged into another dizzyingly long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again, so neither of them showed the slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. By now, the Leviathan remained completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Birkenstow was the only one still holding her ground. However, one storm of candy asteroids like the asteroid belt repeatedly sent at Birkenstow, roaring her way at her girl's form, bit by bit. I've got to get away, or I'll really... The thing flanked the Birkenstow's range of vision was a comet posed straight for her with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it. Lambda, what? Yeah, my body. The candy comet wiped out Birkenstow along with the screen. It burst into little bits within a blink of an eye. It was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into a place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning it into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing up the cats and their master, I now looked like a wiggling, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Lambda Delta's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing it further and further, until at the end it became a single green, shining Campedo, maybe? I don't know. Then it fell down on her outstretched palm. Sorry, Bern. I wanted to play with you always, so I've always taken it easy and pretended to be in a pinch. Then the Delta held the Campeto above her head and peered at it. But the truth is, I'm just impossibly strong. Sorry about that. Then she pressed the Campeto to her pink lips, gave it a light kiss, and bit down. Oh, she ate it. This doesn't taste like burn. But the looked at her fingertips and turned to a face in the air behind her. So, I already knew it, my beloved Lambda. Ah, I love you, Burn. Liar. I knew that you never took me seriously. In that case, let's love each other for real, both of us seriously. Nah, I do love you, Lambda Delta. I'm happy, so happy. I do love you, Birkenstow. I'll turn you into a candy and cuddle you with my tongue forever. No matter who wins, our love will never fade. Yeah. That's wonderful, just wonderful. Okay. Let's love each other right now. With a crash, Croc's lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. Then finally the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anything anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and a fleet of sailboats flew in one after another. They were crowded with goats pushing each other and spilling off the sides. Come, let us begin. This is the Golden Land's final banquet. A banquet. It wasn't some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land who stood defiantly were like a forgotten sandcastle on a beach. A fight between a wave and a sandcastle was not a fight. This was a banquet for oncoming Vikings, and that meal, the ferocious merciless goats. There's no way around it. Fire! Good, come goats, bring destruction to all that has formed, stillness to all that moves, despair to all who live. All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shudder like a thunderclap, the goat tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once, and it was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparks and smoke, flying splinters and screams. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and the Trister Sister Corps seemed to halt the goat tsunami in its tracks. However, their numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave continued to walk over the corpses that had been blasted away or which had fallen to their knees in weariness. The amount of corpses piled up and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it, so that in a few seconds it really was tall enough to be a tsunami. Pitiful. This Golden Land was nothing more than a sandcastle and some kid left on a beach. He swelled up and disappeared. Perhaps you should liken it into ripples beating meaninglessly against the wharf. Is sandcastle getting swallowed by a wave? Just you try swallowing my castle. Beato lifted her hands, still in a pair of battle towers that had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. The goat tsunami looked up in the shock. After all, this time the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them. Fire! A thunderstorm of rapid fire ballista rounds leapt from the battle tower gun ports. The ghosts let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. However, they saw something else too. In the sky, high above the tower, was a reaper astride a divine horse and a backdrop by the moon, a massive spear the size of a tower in his hands. The great wave sitting on the horse by the reaper spoke. Welcome back. This world does not belong to you. Do it, teacher. The heavenly spear pierced the ground. For an instant, it looked like some divine tower was sticking out of it. However, that was the very last thing those eyes ever saw. A sacred spear, the embodiment of heaven's wrath, is destroyed to bury an unclean city. and a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. When the massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were seen flying all over the place. Not bad, I guess they really are witches. But is it enough? The enemies keep on coming. It looks like we'll be the ones swallowed up after all. At least you two seem to be enjoying yourselves. Wow, how could one fail to enjoy such a festival? It seems our time in the limelight shall not be stolen from us after all. Looks like it. I'm all fired up. Yes, the cuddle goose was truly like a wave pressing it in from the sea. You might be able to split a ripple on the beach with your fleet, but you can't split the sea. Witches could, however, that meant the other side also had someone who could split seas. Suddenly, a smoke poured from one of the two towers, and the ground shook as it crumbled. What the hell happened? Over there, on top of the other tower. Eric, but of course it is your turn now, is it not? At the top of the other battle tower, Erica stood up gracefully, wielding her scythe. I say this and then to show the witches of the Golden Land proper respect. All magic is fake. It's just a fantasy sandcastle that'll always vanish when mystery swallows it up. Playing with witches was pretty fun, though. I think I remember playing something like this with some older girls in the neighborhood when I was younger. So let's bring this to an end. Now it's time to hear your scream. Erica threw that prestigious pirate hat that she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. With the moon behind it, Erica's form, her after image, vanished from the tower's peak. Where is she? You have her on radar. She's on the side of the tower. Shaking with a wild, joyous laughter, Erica dashed straight down the tower. She swung her scythe like a baton, and as she passed along the tower walls, guns, ports, walls, pillars, and everything else was crushed, leaving trail smoke. So from the sidelines, and looked as though a line of smoke suddenly split the tower from the top to bottom. Golden arrows of the treasure sister course chased after Erica like golden threads in the soul of a shade. You monster, get yourself sewed and embroidered, Dia. Good. Good. Ha ha ha. Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erica. Finally, Erica reached the bottom of the battle tower and empty cartridges were ejected from the golden bows. Burst, useless tower, isn't that the phrase? Erica had now landed on the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower behind her with the handle of her scythe. Now tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell into itself with an earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward through the rubble and smoke. I am Fruto Erica, witch of truth. This moment marks the dismantling of the Golden Land by truth. Dust to dust, illusions to illusions, all in your daydream for you. Come try and remember, ghosts. Remember how you died so long ago. The ghost tsunami swallowed everything up. When she saw them sink under the black sea of goats, Erica guffawed from the top of the debris of the tower. Come on now, kill them, massacre them all, cut off all their heads and stick them on spears. Go to the 1986, the time has come for the whirlpool of truth to swallow you whole and erase you so long. Whew. Okay guys, well, this was like a good ending point for this video. Yeah, it's already an hour long. I know I've been saying this all the past videos, yeah, but like I said, I really do think it's getting near the end now, definitely. I just don't know how many more videos. I'm wanting to say anywhere between 1 to 3 more videos, and episode 8 will be over. That's what I'm wanting to say. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.